Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We are going to continue doing our mini readings that we started on Wednesday. We already have a list going, so if you're on the list, I'm going to read it off in a second, but we will go ahead and start where we left off. And if you want to get on the list, you can send $25 to my PayPal account, which is in the description of this video that you're watching live right now. If you're watching the replay, then the readings are over and you have to wait till I'm live again to get a reading. But if you do end up signing up, know that your name will always get put on the list for the next time if we don't get to it this time. So I'm excited to be here today. Welcome in everyone. Hello Myrna. Hello Coro Girl. Hello Mindy. Hello Nelvin. Thank you for being here. Hello Essa and Melanie, Rebecca and Sparky. Good to see you guys. And before we start going into the readings, I do want to remind you to hit that notification bell, subscribe if you are new to the channel. We have some really awesome things coming up. Next week is on the 20th, the sun enters Aquarius. On the 21st, the new moon in Aquarius it happens, and then on the 23rd is the Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. So it's the Lunar New Year, which is kind of exciting, especially when it comes to like the moon goddess energies. So we're going to be having a big celebration in our new platform, and I can't wait to see you guys all there. So more details are going to be coming out on Monday, starting Monday. And it'll be a free community for everyone to join. So I highly, highly recommend, because some of the videos that I normally do here on YouTube are going to start now being only in the platform. So yes, that's exciting. And also, if you, oh, that's cool, Myrna. She says, I'm a rabbit. Awesome. And if you're also new and you haven't yet downloaded my free moon astrology guide, please make sure to do so. There's a link below. The guide tells you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It also enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report, which is the horoscope for the week. It goes out every Wednesday at 8 in the morning. So, and also really the best place to stay in contact with the community and with everything that's going on, all the workshops and classes and courses that are coming up. We got Moon Goddess training coming up in February, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to be doing a live retreat in Sedona as well this year. So there's a lot of cool things planned for the year, and I can't freaking wait. So here is the list that we are going to continue working on from last time. Rachel is first. Let me know if you're in the chat, Rachel. After Rachel, we have Sparky. After Sparky, we have Coral Girl. After Coral Girl, we have Myrna. And then after Myrna, we have Ariel. So that is what we're working with so far. And so if you want to get on the list, we're going to go through all these guys first, but you can still get on the list for today. There's Rachel. Hello. Okay, awesome. She says she would love an astrology reading. What do you see for my purpose? And will I find true love? Okay, let me do the little screen share. And also get my iPad. I was actually charging it. So here we go. I'm going to share the screen and then we'll dive into this reading. I like your question. I think it's really fun and I am excited to go over it. Okay, so I got to turn this on first. And once it shows up here, then I can share. And then while I'm doing this, to answer your question, Myrna, of what does Satnam mean? Sat means truth. Nam means name. When you say Satnam, you're saying truth is who I am. Truth is my identity. It's like a different way of saying, it's like the Kundalini tradition way of saying, I am Satnam. I am Satnam. So I am, you are, we are truth. So it's really, really a powerful thing. All right, here we go. Let's enter this information in 5484. 230. And okay. In Kundalini Yoga, which is actually pretty much all of the meditations that I do in the membership, the Starseed membership, which is also going to be transferring to the new platform, which I'm really excited about. They all use the Kundalini Yoga, and we say that a lot. We say Satnam a lot. We chant it, all this cool stuff with it. So when you vibrate the frequency, you vibrate. Awesome, Rebecca. You vibrate the energy within you. I'm just making sure that this is correct. And okay. So what do you see from my purpose, and will I find true love? Well, the second question is a little bit open-ended, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up your progressed chart. Have you ever looked at your progressed chart, Rachel? Okay. All right, here we go. You have. Okay, awesome. Wonderful. So then it'll be easier to kind of talk about it and see what I see. So I actually just put like 3 charts here because it's going to help me just have it all there all together. So the middle chart is your natal chart. Hello, Shannon. Welcome in. Good to see you. So the middle chart, the inside chart is your birth chart. The second chart is the progress chart at the current moment. And then the third chart, the outside wheel, is the current transits. So for your first question, what do you see for my purpose? There's a lot of things that you can look at when you're looking for this. So the most important one is basically looking at North Node. I don't like that color. Let's do blue. Looking at North Node as purpose. Also looking at the 10th house of career. That's also important. In terms of, sometimes a lot of the starseed markings can give you insight into what is your purpose. And I see it really is actually all right here, honestly. It really is all right here in your 10th house cusp with Chiron right there. So you have North Node Gemini. It's not exactly conjunct Chiron, but Chiron is right there. These are both at the cusp of your 10th house of career, which is also life path, mission, with the North Node being destiny and life purpose. So these are aligned. So like the 10th house is how you show up in the world. So you are here to show something, right? You're here to be someone, to represent something, to like embody something, right? And it's a coincidence, really. Well, not really a coincidence. It's like you chose it to be this way, but it just happens that the North Node is right there too. The North Node is actually in your 10th house too. So your North Node is in your 10th house, which means that your life path destiny is linked with how you're here to show up for the world. Like, what is your mission? And to have this North Node Gemini is to be a communicator, to share the wisdom. The wisdom comes from the South Node. In this case, South Node in South Node in the Sagittarius is about like being that teacher, having gone through the adventure and collected all that wisdom. And then in this lifetime, you're like here to share it out with the people, because Gemini is more of like a practical, like in the marketplace, the busyness of life. So that's part of your mission. And what I also see, you definitely need a starseed reading is, I'll give you a little clue here, is that your North Node and, well, your Chiron is literally connected to the Pleiades. It's at 1 degree of Gemini, and the Pleiades is 0, Alcyone. So you have Pleiadian energy with Chiron, which is your healing journey. And then the North Node is close to Aldebaran and like near Orion. So Orion is also a big part, and Orion is like truth seekers. So you're a truth seeker that is here to learn to shine your light, to find joy and happiness in your life. And the only way to do that is to heal your insecurity about feeling like you're not good enough, like you're going to be judged for what you say or what you communicate or the truth that you speak. That's really like a huge part of your purpose. And in terms of, will I find true love, we got to look at Venus for that. Let's change colors. So you were... Let's see, you have Virgo rising. So you were born with, well, this is kind of cool that the Sun and Venus are very close together in your chart. And this makes me think that I would look up what phase Venus was in when you were born, because it could be right after the retrograde, right before the retrograde, depending on whether she was recently retrograde or not. You were born during like close to the evening star or the morning star. And if you were born during the evening star, you're gonna be more of like elevated celestial type of frequency, like romantic and like really seeking that kind of love, but also being kind of aloof and always like floating and like not really present. And so that's going to affect like what you desire, because Venus is what you desire in love. And if she was like retrograde, if you were closer to the morning star, then that means that you're much more practical of a energy when it comes to love and relationships. So either like the really romantic kind of Piscean type of frequency, or the very grounded and like practical, more like Taurus, right? So Taurus is someone who, Venus in Taurus is someone who desires stability, security, like to enjoy the quality of life. So you're gonna feel the best in a relationship with someone who like also enjoys like quality things. And also like it can be a little bit what's the word that I'm looking for? It's at the tip of my tongue. it's like overindulgent, right? It's like overindulging. So like gluttony, is that what that's called? Like just like love, like everything that feels good, right? Like the material world. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just you're going to be happy with someone who also like enjoys those things and at least enjoys those in you, right? So the other thing to look at is what is going on right now in terms of Venus, right? And the first thing that I notice is that the North Node, 10 degrees of Taurus right now, Uranus at 14. Well, the sun, Uranus is on your sun right now, which means that right now you're feeling like really weird, like unpredictable, like uncomfortable, like you might be experiencing like nervous energy, nervous tension, not know why, like unexpected things like are showing up for you, and they're like challenging you to like change in a big way, to transform, to transmute, to mutate, and that never feels good. Uranus transit always feel like Kundalini awakenings, spiritual awakenings that sometimes take you down rabbit holes and dark nights of the soul and tower moments, falling before you come out on the other side, a totally changed person, right? Because of that, this whole time is, for any Taurus, it's hard. It's really hard. And with the North Node, though, the nodes move down the degree. So it's going to go to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and it's going to hit 3 degrees, which is right where your Venus is. So when that happens, relationships for you currently become a destiny, become a focus of moving towards the future. So it's possible that you may either be focusing on relationships as that starts to happen. And we're talking like, if I go back to the regular chart, we're talking, let me go forward here. So there's 6, 5, 4. We're talking, start to feel it April. It gets there. Go, 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 go. Okay, May. So May is going to be around the time where it'll really be like, whoa, like right now I really care about what I want. I really care about relationships. And it's the North Node in Taurus, and you having your sun and Venus there, that's like really like it's making you wonder about, what about relationships? Because there's something shining a light in this area of your life. The last thing I'm going to say is that your progressed Venus, and look at this, how crazy is this? Your progressed Venus is conjunct your sun, and she's not retrograde. This is actually cool. So I think that's why you're feeling such a desire for love and romance and relationship right now. And if you allow yourself to flow into it, then you can definitely find it. The other thing I will say is that Mars, right, has just gone direct, was retrograde since October 30th, but in Gemini since August. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, that much time, Mars has been going like back and forth over your progressed Sun and Venus and North Node and Mercury and Chiron. So you're feeling this very heavy Mars frequency that slowed everything down. And so there's a lesson here. There's a lesson in relationships, and there's a lesson in love. And so now that Mars is direct, he's going to like turn around and go this way again. And what's going to happen is he's going to hit like all these points again, your progressed Mercury, your progressed Venus, your progressed Sun. And you might feel like, okay, now I can move forward. Now I can start to take action towards like maybe looking for love or finding love. So I feel like, to answer your question, what this really says is that there's a lot of Venus energy in your chart, which means that has to do with relationships and love. So the question that you're bringing up is relevant because you're feeling the energy, the effect of the astrology on your Venus in in a lot of ways, in both your natal chart and your progress chart. Venus is getting hit. So I would say that there is energy now of relationship, and you are desiring to like find that and connect with that. So I would say that the answer is like, will you find love? I can't answer that, right? Because no one can like predict the future like that, because everything depends on the choices that we make. But is there a lot of Venus energy right now? Is there a lot of relationship focus right now for you in your chart? Yes, 100%. The lesson is like, you got to go internally and figure out what has been coming up for you, but it'll be related to your soul. It'll be related to your career. It'll be related to your life path. It'll be related to your mission. It'll be related to your relationships, to your thoughts, through your, how you communicate, what you say, you know, your purpose, all of it. Cause all of that is like all together right there in your 10th house, in your progress chart anyways. And it's going to be about healing. So there's a lot there. You can't say it's exactly this. It has to do with the sun, Venus, Mercury, North Node, and Chiron. And that's a lot. So all together, like, what is that? You got to figure that out. Like, and that's the reflection that you have to do. But at least the awareness is now there to start to direct, you know, the contemplation. Great freaking question. I loved doing this reading. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. And now we have Sparky. So I'll wait for Sparky to put up her question. And yes, I hope that that's really resonated for you. I am excited for you. I think it is a lot. Yeah. I have Sun, Gemini, Rising Gemini, Venus, Gemini. Like everything that you have right now in your progress chart is my normal natal chart. So Mars in Gemini right now, any Gemini stuff for anyone, it's been affecting us like in a really, really gnarly way. So we've been having a really, really difficult time. Basically, all Gemini energy has been going through like the ringer. Like it has felt like a tower moment. It felt like things will never happen. Like things are slowing down. For me, it was like the choices that I wanted to make were very, very, very different than what I thought I wanted. And so that was confusing to me. Certain things didn't feel right anymore. I was like bored. Like Gemini, when Gemini energy has to slow down, like the first thing that happens is you get bored. That's Gemini. So, yeah. So anyways, that's that. Yes. That's why, yeah, we resonate, because a lot of our Gemini stuff in your progress chart and my natal chart are actually connected and like conjunct. So yeah, it's fun to look at stuff like that. All right. So, Sparky wants a gene key, reading. So I'll need your natal chart information and I will pull it up. And if you have a specific question, even better. I guess the question would be, as you put up your birth info, but then once you do that, answer the question of, are you familiar with your gene keys chart? Have you ever looked at it? Or is this like the first time that you're looking at it? And that'll give me direction into how to read this for you. I'm right now pulling up this. Okay, so the birth city is Kingston, New York, and the month is November. The day is the 18th, and the year is 73. Okay, and then the time 4:21 p.m. 21 minutes. Awesome. I love it, Rachel. You had a human design reading only. Okay, with my sister. Okay. Yeah, Rachel said she had a gene keys reading and she cried. Dude, I didn't know that. Well, I don't remember, but That's awesome. Okay, so November 18th, 73, 4:21 p.m. Okay, so so I guess I'll start by explaining what the gene keys actually is, since you're not familiar with it. This is basically what your profile looks like. And sorry, I just want to look at it for a second. So I think the best thing for me to do is go like this, and then like this, and then like this. Okay. I gotta blow my nose. Yeah, get the audiobook and get the regular book. Okay, so the Gene Keys is really about contemplation that leads to self-understanding, that leads to self-awareness, and that leads to literally like enlightenment. And the reason, activation, right? The reason it leads to enlightenment and activation is because you start to really see yourself at levels that you did not even realize you could or were possible. The Gene Keys is the feminine aspect of ourselves, while human design is the masculine aspect of ourselves. Hello, Belinda. Welcome in. You're in Canada. Oh my God, how crazy. The Gene Keys is the yin-like understanding of ourselves. So it's not going to give you direct answers. It's going to guide you in this very beautiful, poetic way towards understanding yourself in a very yin-like feminine way, whereas human design will guide you in a very masculine, direct, and practical way as to what to do, how to make decisions, what's your strategy, what to pay attention to, what affects you, what doesn't affect you. Whereas like it's very practical and like kind of very direct and very clear in that sense. Like your authority is this and your strategy is this and this is your type and this is what that means and this is how this affects your relationships and life in general. And so when you follow this and this and this, your strategy, your authority, etc., you understand how your aura works, then you have a very practical tool to make decisions and to flow through life. But the Gene Keys is like open-ended, like a river that flows down the mountain into the ocean. And then it's so vast and expansive that it just blows your fucking mind. You're a manifesting generator. Okay. So we will talk about, there's 3 sequences. You see green spheres, red spheres, and blue spheres. The green spheres relate to a sequence called the activation sequence, which is the one that I will talk about because I can't go through all of it because it's almost like basically doing like a full-on reading. There's not enough time. It's a mini reading, so I focus on the activation sequence, and it'll spark hopefully your interest to go and dive deeper into this. The red spheres are called the Venus sequence, which is all about love and relationships and healing karma. And the blue spheres is called the Pearl sequence, which is about prosperity and abundance and activating that prosperity and abundance in yourself. The green spheres, if we go back to the beginning, is the activation sequence. And this activates the whole thing. It's like that's why they're called the Gene Keys, because they are keys that open the doors to deeper levels of awareness. So you have 4 spheres. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the activation sequence, and they follow in this direction from this one to this one to this one to this one. That's how they go. That's how you read it. The very first one here is called the life's work sphere. The second one is called the evolution sphere. Third one is called the radiance sphere, and the fourth one is called the purpose. The first one, the life's work, let me actually erase this now because it's kind of obnoxious. The life's work is all about what you are here to do. It's actually, in some way, shape, or form, action-oriented. Every gene key has a shadow, a gift, and a siddhi. Siddhi meaning divine gift. A shadow, a gift, and a divine gift. And all of these spheres have these lines, right? And these lines they have like descriptive energies that really will work best when you dive deeper into the study of it, right? So we're not going to worry about the line, although I can talk a little bit about it. The line 3 relates to your profile in human design, and you are a 3-5. So, which essentially means you're here to learn by making mistakes, like bumping into things and being like, oh, there's something there. Like making mistakes and then realizing them and then correcting yourself and then gaining so much wisdom. Like 3-5s gain the most wisdom in life because they keep tumbling through things, like stumbling through things that no one else does, and so they learn like a lot, hopefully, right? That's the whole thing. It's like that's the function of the 3-5. In the gene keys, the lines mean slightly different things, but they're the same. So they have a similar frequency. But I'm not going to get into that. I just want to talk about the shadow, the gift, and the siddhi. So your life's work, meaning what you are here to do, is to transmute the shadow of compromise to the gift of codependence so that you can get these glimpses in your life of bounteousness. I highly recommend you get the book and you read the whole chapter of each of these gene keys. There's 64 chapters. You have to read the 14th chapter to understand your life's work better, okay? Because he's very poetic and he's got like an amazing way of like relating information. So what does this mean? It means that in your life, the thing that you do the most that really damages you, that really like holds you back from like moving forward in life is you compromise. You compromise yourself, you compromise your life, you compromise everything. Compromise is like one of the biggest things that really like the biggest shadow that you deal with and you have dealt with in your life. However, when you learn to let go, right? Understand things and don't ask me to explain the meanings of these words because you'll find that deeper meaning in the actual book, but I'm giving you my perspective of it, and then you'll see like a deeper dive into it when you get the book and you read the chapters. But the compromise thing is what you deal with the most. It's a really challenging thing in your life. And what happens is, obviously, you make too many compromises, and then you don't ever like are able to really flow, and you're not able to ever really like reach that state of bounteousness where like everything is just like open and more things are allowed to come in. Like you don't compromise yourself, right, or your life, or your relationships, or etc., etc., etc. You have to learn to step into the gift of competence, which is like, what is that word competence? To me, the word competence means there's a deeper understanding of things, you know? And it's almost like, it almost connects to being like, if someone doesn't have any competence, like they don't understand anything, right? Like they lack that ability to like think rationally and logically or whatever. So to have competence means, to me personally, is to understand things at a deeper level. And when you're able to do that, to understand things at a deeper level, and you stop making compromises, you free yourself to truly live a life of bounteousness. And that's your life's work. That's what the sphere says. The second one is your evolution. The evolution sphere talks about what are the things that challenge you the most, that make it so difficult for you to evolve. Basically, it has to do with the biggest leaps of quantum leaps that you will take in your evolution of your spirituality and your consciousness and your awareness will be this, dealing with these frequencies. So the shadow of mediocrity, the gift of style, and the siddhi of exquisiteness. I want to point out that if you compromise yourself over and over and over, what's going to happen when it comes to this shadow, live a mediocre life. When you continue making compromises, you will continue to live a mediocre life. When you step into the gift of competence from your life's work, you will actually start to like find your style, find your uniqueness, and actually let that flow and let that be something that is a beautiful expression, a unique expression of who you are, eventually leading you to getting glimpses of like the exquisiteness of life. So you're going to evolve by stopping compromising yourself and your life, and stop living a mediocre life. But those two shadows, compromise and mediocrity, are the two shadows that are the two things that challenge you the most in this life. So what happens when you start to work through these shadows, to transmute these energies, these shadows into gifts? You begin to see this inner light start to shine through, which refers to your radiance. And this is basically the you that wants to shine from within, the real you that it's like the pearl. You start to shine the pearl or the diamond, right? It starts as coal and then it becomes diamond. And in the end, it sparkles and it shines. This is the same thing. When we start to work through our shadows, we eventually start to shine like a diamond. And that inner light, you clean yourself of all the gunk, right? And that inner light starts to shine. What is that inner light for you? It is commitment and devotion. When you start to live a life of bounteousness and exquisiteness, your true commitment and your devotion start to really shine through. But if you find yourself living life half-heartedly, doing things half-heartedly, you won't want to commit. You won't feel the drive or the motivation to commit. You won't feel any devotion coming through. So the key to really letting your inner light shine through is to stop living life half-heartedly and start committing. Like, what do you want to commit to? Like, make a choice, dive in, do not give up, those things. Devote yourself to something that you love. And when you do that, you will start to really make an impact in the world. And your true purpose will start to become uncovered, which moves from the shadow of desire to the gift of lightness to the city of rapture. Like, how freaking beautiful is that? Your purpose is to be enraptured in life, is to just feel the lightness of the world, the divine, is to let go of like always wanting this, wanting that, desiring this, desire. It's like the energy of desire is a never ending hole, because there's always more to want, to desire, right? So being enraptured or raptured by life is like letting go of like, I want more, is being completely engulfed in the moment, in the present moment. So your true, the activation of your consciousness will happen when you realize that you may be living in these shadows, and you start to make conscious start taking conscious steps and making conscious decisions to actually transmute those shadows into gifts, right? To stop compromising, to stop living a mediocre life, to stop living half-heartedly, and to stop desiring things that like never ends. The cycle never ends. But to start living in bounteousness, to start like enjoying the uniqueness of who you are. And as you do that, to find your ability to really commit to something beautiful, to devote yourself to something beautiful. And in that devotion, you will find the rapture of life that just takes over, and it brings you that satisfaction that you always are looking for. And that's my 2 cents. So that was awesome. I'm having a lot of fun tonight. Thank you. That was a great question. And I love going over the gene keys. So that's a little tiny taste. And now your job is to go and get the book and read the chapters. So read the 14th gene key, the 8th gene key, the 29th gene key, and the 30th gene key, and then keep going up the red ones and then the blue ones. It's the green ones first. Take your time to process. Then the red ones, then the blue ones. That's the order. You're welcome. Amazing. Okay. So next we have Coral Girl. So put up your question. After Coral Girl, we've got Myrna, and after Myrna, we have Ariel. Colette and Sparky have the same birthday? Nice. That's crazy. Even the same year? That's a little wild. Twins. No, but yeah, totally. The Gene Keys are like such a powerful and amazing tool. And remember, it's the yin-like. You're not going to get direct answers. It's not, you're not meant to get directness with the Gene Keys. You're meant to get open-endedness that invites you, that like gently calls you to dive deep into the rabbit hole of who you are and discover your like grandioseness, like the expansiveness of who you are, and feel the divine within you through the cities and through the gifts. So amazing. Nah, I'm a crone. That's funny. So, okay. So we're waiting for Tracy to put up her question. And then also let me know what kind of reading you want. Belinda says the Gene Keys is amazing. Some great personal insights. Yes. Yes. And even when you go, so Sparky, go to genekeys.com and pull your chart just like I did and get it emailed to yourself and stuff like that. And just reading the descriptions that are on there, which I don't have time to do here in this, but go and read the descriptions. It'll expand on what I basically was saying. She was here earlier. I know I saw her name in the chat earlier, so I'm not sure if she's still here, if she's typing or what. We'll just give it a couple more moments before we continue. Yeah, she was here in the beginning. Right in the beginning. She's probably like, you guys are talking about me, I'm right here. Or she stepped out for a second. Or she's busy. But I'll give it a couple more seconds. There she is. See, I told you. Okay. I have been a lone wolf for years by choice. Could this shift in 2023, will I find meaningful companionship? Okay. And she wants a tarot reading. So we are going to use the Tarot of the Divine, pull 5 cards, intuition card challenge, overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and animal spirit. And this will give us guidance towards your question. So the question I want to ask, just want to say a little moment. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, teachers, for being here with us in this moment. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of these cards as well as my energy, so I can be that open channel of wisdom and intuition to flow through to whoever is getting readings tonight, especially the tarot readings. And in this moment, we are asking for a reading for Tracy regarding her relationship and whether in 2023 she's going to find meaningful companionship. So anything, any insight through the cards that we can receive that will help her understand herself and this better would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, 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 thank you. It's not. It's only on YouTube. But you know, Mercury retrograde glitches. Also, make sure you're watching this in real time, because sometimes if you're a little delayed, you're like watch it after the fact while it's live. Like, I don't know why YouTube lets you do that. It lets you like rewind while it's live. It's really weird. So if you check on the bottom of the video, there's like this little red dot that you can move all the way to the right if you're not watching it exactly in real time. Okay, here we go. The first card that we get is the Queen of Coins, but it's actually reversed. But look how cool this card is. These cards are so cool. This is Waramurungunju. Waramurungunju, Northern Australia. It's a Gungwingu deity, and I probably butchered that. I apologize. The Queen of Coins is an eager mother, ready to bring new life. She has traveled the world, blessing her many children. She is always moving, loving, and ever practical. She teaches her children how to help themselves. If this was upright, this would be a healer. This would be luxury, being grounded, practicality, movement. However, this is reversed. And so what this activates is the possibilities are jealousy, possession, a lack of organization, or manipulation. And this is the intuition card. Basically, with the Queen of Coins is someone who is very grounded. I feel grounded energy because she has to do with the mother. She has to do with the earth. She also has to do, this is almost like an empress qualities as well. And it also has to do with manifestation. And so for some reason, right, it's coming up like the cards don't lie. And so you can't apologize for ever like getting like a kind the when the cards come out, it's like it is what it is. So what this is saying is that at the beginning of this journey of relation, this is what I'm getting anyways. At the beginning of this journey of like relationship to you, period, it is tainted with jealousy, possession, lack of organization, and manipulation. And this tells me that this has been sort of at the foundation, maybe, of the choices that you've had to make, right? To be on your own for a while, to just take care of yourself for a while. And it doesn't mean that because relationships have been this way for you in the past, but it means that something in your life has caused these frequencies to show up that have caused you to sort of kind of retreat and for whatever reason, right? What is the challenge? The challenge is the Knight of Wands. This is the card. This is the image. This is Tatterhood. Tatterhood. It's a Norwegian fairy tale. The Knight of Wands represents a fearless fighter, eager to charge into battle, especially if it means defending someone she loves. Reckless and unafraid, Tatterhood grabs what she wants to claim the future she desires. Reckless and unafraid. Those are strong words. What this actually means is that this is upright. So this is about adventure. This is passion. This is like the rebel side of you, a hot temper, a flirt, like all that stuff. It's like this part of you like really wants to kind of come out and play. And it's a total, like, it's the opposite. I see these two reactions being like, okay, so like one energy is a very grounded energy and it's very like important to like, it's stable. The other one is like, blah, like so not stable, like wants to just like I'm getting an image of like a bull or a horse that like is like, they're wild. And so like they go out of the gate, they open the gate and it's just like all over the place, right? Tatterhood. Is that what you're asking? How do you spell that? Tatter hood, HOOD. So there's the challenges that here's what I'm getting. The challenge is if you really want to go out and get something, you gotta go get it, right? You gotta go get it with the passion of the Knight of Wands, where it's like, you gotta let your passion out. And if you haven't let your passion out in a long time for whatever reason, that's going to be a challenge to you, right? That's why it's challenging for you right now. It's in the challenge position is what I mean. The overall theme is actually the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, but it came out reversed. This is Vasilisa the Beautiful. It's a Russian fairy tale. The Nine of Wands represents weathering the battle, sent by her wicked stepmother to the door of the witch Baba Yaga. Vasilisa the Beautiful stays resilient. She endures Baba Yaga's impossible trials. She's wary and cautious, but also hopeful. This reversed means stalemate, stubbornness, hesitance, can also mean giving in or paranoia. So like, it's kind of crazy. Like these cards are a little bit wild. What's holding you back? Like there's something, right? Like either your stubbornness, or you don't want to give in, or you're afraid of what might be out there because for so long, for some reason, you've chosen, right? You've chosen what you've chosen, to be the lone wolf, right? So kind of interesting that like, what if the overall theme is a stalemate, like what is it that's causing this? Like there's something underneath the surface. Hesitance, right? Maybe is a better word, like hesitant to go. And like, that's why it's a challenge. Like maybe this passionate fiery energy is like a little too much, so interesting that the wisdom from your spirit guides, from your ancestors, is actually the Empress card. That's wild. Dude, and it came out reversed. So you got the Queen of Coins and the Empress, which are very similar frequencies. This is also Mother Mary. I mean, dude, right? It looks like Mother Mary anyways. The Virgen de Guadalupe, to be exact, but it did come out reversed. So this is the wisdom from your spirit guides. It is Our Lady of Guadalupe, a Catholic saint. The Empress is a loving and protective mother. She cares for and wishes to defend all of her children, even if a mother's love can sometimes be smothering. The world feels bright and everything blooms around her. If this is upright, right, you're going to feel that energy of the mother, fertility, nurturing, accomplishment, nature, abundance. However, this is reversed, which means feeling undesirable. Whoa, that just cut deep. Anxiety, lack of concentration, smothering, and selfishness. Dang. I mean, was there like trauma with your mother? Like, I mean, that's going deep. This is going deep, Like, dude. Okay. So the animal that you get is the mouse. The mouse is detail-oriented, can also be small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. Nervousness coming in through. Anxiety is coming in hot, right? The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon, they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. So, that was kind of intense. But she says this resonates so much. I have been held back for a long time. Okay, I'm glad that it resonates, and I'm glad that it's giving you insight. But there's a lot here. Like, what I feel is like there's something way heavy underneath this question, underneath this specific thing about your life. It's like a big deal. And you got to really go underneath the surface and discover what's underneath. And that's the key to like opening up the gates for love. Right? It's not just about finding somebody else. It's about finding yourself. You gotta find yourself, heal yourself, know where you stand. What do you want? You know, what do you need? What do you desire? What do you want? And then live your life in that healthy way. And that's how you attract what you want, is you live what you want. So it's like the question of our lifetime, like, will I find love? Will I find meaningful companionship? And it's not even about that question. Like, the answer to that question, right, lies much deeper. So whatever it has to deal with, right? Whatever like caused you to be like, I'm done for a while. It was big. Like, it really affected you so much that it like made you make such a, strong decision to like, okay, no, fuck that. Right? Like, I get it. So what's important for you now is what this reading is saying is there's deep ingrained shit here that needs to be, that there's deep ingrained stuff that needs to be figured out, healed, cleansed, for you to open up the door. The door has to be open for someone to come in, right? So thank you for getting this reading. I hope that it helped you. And next we have Myrna. It always depends on the self. The self is always the first thing that we need to focus on. It's never about the other person, because the other person, no matter if you haven't the thing too to recognize about this, Colette, if you would like a reading, you have to sign up for one, and it's $25 sent to my PayPal. Right now we're doing Myrna, and then Ariel is after that. And then if you sign up, you would be after Ariel. So what was I saying? It's always about self-healing. But the thing is that relationships will always trigger growth. So if you, this is hard, okay? This is hard because people don't want to hear this, right? When you go into a relationship, you're welcome. When you go into a relationship, it will trigger you. There will be things about that relationship that will trigger you, because the relationships is where we learn and heal karma. These are soul contracts. Even for a millisecond, you can have a soul contract where for a millisecond you had an encounter with someone, right? You are Rebecca. I just didn't write it down yet. So you're after Ariel. Sorry, I didn't write it down yet. So thanks for the reminder. So basically, you have to not be afraid to go into relationships and know that it's not going to be freaking perfect the first time. But if you don't ever go into a relationship, if you say like, fuck it, I don't want this anymore. Like, I don't want to feel that. You're like denying yourself the most powerful mode of self-growth that exists on this planet. Of course, there are like limits to that, right? Like, if you're getting beat, like if there's abuse that's like really, really like not good, of course you gotta not do that. But like regular, normal relationships, there'll be triggers that come up, and that's the nature of relationships. So you can't expect the perfect relationship, right, to show up in your life right away. And you gotta just be open to learn through the relationship. That's what I learned. It was like, I did also want, like, when am I going to find someone who's like better? Like, when am I going to find someone who is actually worth like being in a relationship with? Like someone who actually loves me and someone who actually sees me for who I am. And that did not happen until I saw myself and I loved myself for who I am. And I was lucky enough to be in a relationship with someone at that point when I was beginning the consciousness shift, the awareness shift for me. I was lucky enough to be in a relationship with someone who was mature enough and believed in me that I could heal myself. But sometimes people don't have that kind of patience for each other. And that's okay. You don't have to have patience for someone else to heal. But do you have the patience to heal yourself? You do have the like, if you don't have patience for someone else, then you can't expect someone else to have patience for you, right? So that's the key. It's like when you go into a relationship, if the only thing that relationship does for you is fucking trigger you, it's a mirror. It's what's inside of you that's coming out in the mix. Because that's what relationships do. That's the nature of relationships. If you go into a relationship expecting someone else to be perfect, like, and thinking you're perfect, we're not fucking perfect, right? We know this, right? I know you guys know this. And this is kind of a message for everyone, but like, we're not perfect. So unless you're willing to heal, and if you're with someone who's like unwilling to hear you, unwilling to see anything, like, what is that saying about you? That's the gnarly work of relationships. And that's why relationships tell you the truth. And that's why we run away from them. Because we don't like what we see. Because they are a mirror of what's inside ourselves. The people that you attract are the people that you attract because you're on the same vibe, like that same frequency. So you got to raise your frequency. You got to uplift yourself. You got to like step into a healthy mode with your thoughts, with your mind, with your beliefs, with your faith in yourself to attract someone who's also willing to be in that space and together heal and grow. And that's true companionship, right? Dude. Okay. Whoa. Okay, that just happened. Anyways, let me put Rebecca on the list before I forget. So Myrna, yes, human design. I'm so excited. Colette, my internet is weird. So I apologize. It's much better than it was on Wednesday, so I'm not complaining. Okay. So, here we go. Let's do a little screen share. If everything seems like it keeps repeating itself, it's because it's not done. It's not done. So don't try to end it early. Go through it. See what it is. See where it's coming from. Don't be afraid to fucking go there. Let it be gnarly. It's the only way. All right, here we go. Myrna. We've got the 8 of April of 75. We've got the time has to be in military time. So whoa, you were born at 3:33 p.m. 3:33 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 33. The country is El Salvador. And the city, sun. Okay. I just want to make sure this is correct. Are you guys able to see the chart on the screen? I did a screen share, but man, is it really that freaking delayed? Hang on. Super annoying. Super annoying. Okay, there we go. Mayan ancestry. I love it. Here we go. Are you ready? You ready for this? We have a manifesting generator, 4-6 emotional manifesting generator. Okay. So I'm just going to talk. The aura, let's start with the aura type of the manifesting generator. Your aura is enveloping, which means that when you walk in the room, wherever you are, your energy envelops the whole room. Your energy like fills up the room, fills up the space, reaches outwards to connect so that it can see what's out there and know what it needs to respond to. Because as a manifesting generator, your strategy is to respond. You have to respond to things. You have to respond to life. Manifesting generators feel the need to initiate things because they have this energy about them, this manifesting energy about them that says, I can start things. I can do things. I can begin things and like, it'll be amazing. The fault, the trick that there is to that is that the only way that you are able to actually do the things that you get inspired by is if you first, instead of taking action and going like, oh my God, I want to do this. I have a great idea. Let's go. And then it doesn't work out, is because you missed a step. The step was, oh my God, I have this great idea. And then pause, especially because you're an emotional manifesting generator. Pause, wait, wait. You know, like when we're teaching our dog, wait. Wade is your middle name, which sucks ass. But, you know, I can't believe I just said that, but it doesn't matter. So to pause and wait, to respond first to the idea. And the thing is that you have extra waiting because you have emotional authority, which means that you go through these emotional waves that take you up and then down. And then neutral, and then up, down, and then neutral. And you tend to make decisions from the high or the low. When you feel amazing, that's the high. You're like, yes. And then the energy goes low, the emotions they drop. And you're like, that the yes wasn't really a yes. It was actually, I don't want to do that. I'm feeling it. I don't feel it. And then the neutral comes. And that's the moment of reflection. That's the key right there. When you get to that neutral space and you can turn around and look back and be like, oh my God, now that I saw the high and the low and I understand how I feel both when I'm excited about it and both when I'm not excited about it, I can make an actual informed decision now. So that's the biggest thing for you is there's a lot of waiting because as a generator, with a generator aura, you need to respond. You need to wait to respond to life. Things will come to you and then you can respond. Your energy, your aura, your enveloping aura is seeking out, calling things in like, hey, we're over here. Come to me, you know, like come to me. And if you don't wait for these things to come to you, then you're getting ahead of yourself, which is what the manifesting generator tends to do. get ahead of yourself, skip steps, and things don't work out, and then you got to go back because you didn't start from step 1. You didn't go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. You have the vision of like, hey, I can get there from here, like way easier. But the thing is that if you're not following that strategy of responding, at least responding to the idea, waiting for the emotional wave to pass to make a decision, you won't know the answer. You don't have clarity in the moment. There is no if and but to that. That is your nature. You do not have clarity in the now. Zero clarity in the now. You cannot decide in the now. You may think you can because you also have a defined spleen. And the defined spleen says, I do have awareness in the moment. But your authority is emotional, which means you need to wait. You can't really trust that. That's not really the one thing that you can trust. You have to trust the emotional authority over everything else. It trumps everything else in your chart. The emotional authority, the emotional wave. And that's the biggest thing about being a emotional manifesting generator. So you also, how's this hitting you, right? How's this hitting you so far? That's a lot. If it's your first time, just that itself, I think I want to stop there because I feel like just that, knowing your type, manifesting generator, knowing your authority, emotional authority, and knowing your strategy, which is to respond, just those 3 that's enough for the first time. Start watching yourself. Start watching yourself. What do you do? How do you make decisions? Do you wait to respond, or do you make decisions in the moment without thinking? That's like the worst thing that you can do, because you'll end up going through experiences that won't work out. They won't feel right because you got to wait for the clarity to come, and it's not going to come right away. You got to wait. Sorry. You got to wait. Awesome. So that's basically the 3 most important things that you should know about your human design. A couple of other things that I'll add on is that stop worrying about defining yourself. Stop worrying about like, I need to know who I am. I need to know what direction I'm going in life. Just stop, because you'll never know, and you need to surrender to that. You need to enjoy the flexibility of not having a determined path, of not having a determined direction, of not really knowing who you are. It's huge. And stop trying to prove yourself to yourself or to others. You don't have anything to prove, so stop it. You also don't have the kind of willpower that other people do. So you can't make promises because you don't know that you can keep them or not. In the moment, you feel like, okay, I can keep this promise, but later on, oops, I didn't. I shouldn't have said yes, right? So I'm going to leave it at that and let you just like ponder on those things. So thank you. Thank you, Myrna. Appreciate you. Okay. Ariel, is Ariel here? It takes time to know when it's a fuck yes and go ahead and respond and just chill for a bit. Yeah. Well, if you have, see, the thing about Myrna's chart is that she actually has this defined sacral, the defined root, the defined spleen, the defined throat, and the defined solar plexus. That's very different vibe than a regular generator or like a pure generator or a pure manifesting generator. Because she has that added extra wait time with her emotion, with her solar plexus defined. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. So, but there's magic, right? But you got to find your own flavor of magic. So I don't know if Ariel is here. I don't think I have seen her in the chat yet today. What does what mean? Because now I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what I said. Like, what does what mean? Are you talking about the defined sacral when I was talking about that stuff? It's like human design terms. To say you have a defined sacral means you have this energy consistently in your chart? What can I do? You need to follow your strategy. What do you need to do? You need to follow your strategy and your authority. You have to start doing that. That's the only way. It's an experiment. Human design is an experiment. You have to do the experiment. Like, you have to do life, and you have to watch yourself be like, oh, how did I do that? What happened to get me here? What decision did I decide too soon? Did I not wait? You have to watch yourself live life and then be aware of what you're doing and how you're making decisions and how you feel when you're making decisions. It's awareness, and it's an experiment. Oh, awesome, Ariel, you're next. So go ahead and put up your question. So you have to, it's about watching yourself live life by now understanding what is your strategy and your authority. And when things don't work out, it's because you weren't living by your strategy and your authority. You really got to understand how human design works, right? You have to now become aware of everything more than you already are. If you're already an aware person, if you already like observe yourself, well, that's great. Now do it from the lens of human design and see what you see. Emotional authority. Oh, that's what I was talking about. It's the wave, the emotional wave. That you have to watch yourself go through the emotional wave, and you cannot make decisions in the moment. You do have awareness, but you do not have clarity in the moment. You may think you do because you have the defined spleen. Sometimes you do. But the truth is that you do not have clarity in the now. The clarity for you comes later, at the end of an experience, at the end of that emotional wave. And that's why it's challenging to have the emotional authority, although it is one of the most powerful ones. It's because your job is to wait, to observe yourself, and then turn around and look back. So if you're aware, great. Then you're one step ahead. But you have to watch what you do and how you make decisions. And when things don't work out in life, when things don't go your way, you got to look back and be like, where did I not follow my authority? Where did I not follow my strategy? Etc., etc. So there you go. Hello, Alejandra. First time seeing this. What are these? Oh, well, we were just doing a human design reading, and we are doing mini readings, which I know a lot of different modalities. So people are choosing from like gene keys or human design or astrology or tarot. So there's a lot of options to choose from, which makes it even funner. So Ariel wants a gene keys overview. So we are going to look at that next. She's a 4/6. All right, so I'm going to pull up the information first, and then we are going to continue. Question for you, Ariel. Are you familiar with the gene keys? And how familiar are you with them if you are? 33. Oh, all right. Okay, cool. Did you watch what I said to Sparky earlier? April 25th, 1987, 10:33 p.m. Fairly familiar with human design and astrology. Okay. I'm obsessed with all of the modalities. That's why I'm a savage and like learned everything. I can't stop. I can't stop. I got it. The Melody to Funky Town. It's okay. So I'm just going to dive into it like for you. And just a tiny little introduction is that the gene keys are the yin to the yang. It's a very feminine way of understanding yourself. And it's about contemplation and your job after I do this reading. And you hear what I have to say. You hear my 2 cents. Go to genekeys.com and pull your profile and read what it says. And then to read the chapters of the book. So we're going to focus on the activation sequence. Oh, and the internet is acting up. I think I'm back, but I'm not sure. We are going to focus on the activation sequence if the internet decides to work. Okay. And again, this is like my interpretation. This is what I feel about this. This is what is my intuition. And that's why I encourage you to read the book, because Richard Rudd has a beautiful poetic way of explaining all of these things. So, activation sequence, we're going to look at your first sphere here in the activation sequence. Your life's work. Your life's work is basically to transmute the shadow of your life's work into the gift of your life's work, so that you can experience the bounteousness of being deeply connected to the divine. The shadow of your life's work is selfishness. So this is a theme that you deal with in your life, that you have dealt with, that you continue to deal with. These are constant things. They never really stop. They're just constantly present, right? The shadow of selfishness keeps you, right? We understand this shadow very well. It keeps you from opening up. Like it closes you off, right? It closes you off. I'm going to turn off my heater. Hang on one second. So the shadow of selfishness keeps you from really living life to the fullest, from freeing yourself, binding yourself to things that are unnecessary. That's what I'm getting. That's what the selfishness does. It's like it blocks you, like you block yourself from living life. So your life's work, which is something that you have to do in this life, is to transmute the shadow of selfishness to the gift of to the gift of altruism, so that you can truly feel selflessness in your life, so that you find frequency of selflessness. So when you feel that shadow of selfishness start to come up, like, no, I'm the most important thing, like I need to take care of me, like me, you have to hold on. My internet is acting up. I don't want to talk while it's not working. Are you guys able to hear me okay? It's like jumping in and out. So I'm trying not to talk when it like dies down. Please confirm that you can hear me. Okay, why is it jumping? like that. Okay, definitely back now. So what I was saying is that you have to transmute this shadow of selfishness to the gift of altruism so that you can truly feel the boundlessness, the beauty of selflessness, what it really truly means to be selfless. It's a hard one. It's a challenging one because naturally we're all selfish, right? Like this isn't like, oh, I'm saying you're selfish. No, we're all selfish. We all care about ourselves first. And we should do that when we're taking care of ourselves, but it's when it becomes a shadow, right? When it takes over everything that it becomes a shadow. So, and I appreciate that. So, how do you evolve? How do you most powerfully evolve through this life? So I think many times in life, you may feel like you have no purpose and no direction. Purposelessness is the shadow of your evolution sphere. But this is how you evolve. When you transmute the shadow of purposelessness to feel the totality of yourself, you will feel like the eternal self, the immortality, the divine gift of immortality. And so when you live in the shadow of selfishness, all you're going to get out of life is purposelessness. But if you're able to live in the shadow, in the gift of altruism and the city of selflessness, what you will get from life, what you will experience from life is totality and immortality. It's like you will feel this eternal frequency, this eternal like love and purpose. Like you have purpose because you are eternal and you will forever continue to be. But those are the two things that are the most challenging for you is purposelessness and selfishness. They keep you stuck and unable to really truly like live your life's work and evolve at a personal level. When you do start to work through those shadows and heal, what's going to happen is that you will begin to find your radiance. Your true light will start to shine through. And what is this true light? It is anticipation and emanation. But the shadow is fantasy. It's living in a fantasy, right? If you let the shadow of selfishness and the shadow of purposelessness to take over your life, it's very, very possible that you were like living in a fantasy. It's like your own world. And you're not able to see like how to get out of it, right? Because fantasy means that you don't recognize that it's a fantasy. So to get out of the shadow, to transmute the shadow of fantasy, you have to be okay with like anticipating what may come in the future that you may not know it, but you got to just let yourself get excited about the reality of life, which means that like it emanates, right? It emanates from a dream, but it's reality, right? Because fantasy is like the opposite of reality. So living in a fantasy world, in an illusion is always going to keep you from actually being here, present. When part of your gift is that presence that comes from anticipating and being okay with like, I don't know what's coming, but I'm excited about it, you know? And like, I want to see the truth of it. I want to see the reality of my life. I don't want to just keep living in a fantasy or living in an illusion. I want to actually be here and be present. And as this true light starts to emerge, you start to anticipate things more and be more excited about life. And eventually it allows your true purpose to shine through, which is leadership, which is in essence at a higher frequency is humility. But it starts with a shadow of arrogance. So all of these things, right? Selfishness can lead to arrogance. Selfishness and, arrogance together can lead to purposelessness. Like if you're only living in the shadows of your gene keys, it's like it's a horrible world. It is not a fun world. And you are here to be a teacher. You are a teacher. You're learning. Sometimes you learn the hard way. But that's because you have to have experience to be able to really turn around and be a leader. But your true purpose is to be a leader in this world. It's to step into leadership and to fully embody humility. And that is what the gene keys, the activation sequence of the gene keys tells you. And you can dive deeper into this, right? You go through the green ones first, then you go to the red ones, and then you do the blue ones at the end. And some of them overlap, but that's the order that I recommend you dive into it, because the activation sequence, the green spheres, will activate your awareness as to how this works and how to really truly understand it at a deeper level. And then the Venus sequence will help you to understand relationships, karma, and healing karma and karmic wounds. And the Pearl sequence will help you to learn your prosperity and how to activate your prosperity. But that's how it works, and that's the order of how to dive deeper into these things. So definitely get the book. Go to genekeys.com, pull this profile out, and dive deeper into. First, listen to chapter 27, the 27th gene key, then listen to the 28th, then listen to the 41st, and then listen to the 31st. And it will blow your mind. But in a nutshell, that's basically what, my interpretation of what these things are. They really are quite fascinating for sure. So thank you, Ariel. And next we have Rebecca, and Rebecca's going to be our last one. So we're not going to put any more on the list. So Rebecca, go ahead and put up your question, and can't see what you would like to. Okay, here we go. Lots of good things happening. Feels like a true partner is closer. Insight through Tarot Oracle on this and how I can better prepare. I had a new moon in my solar return. Feels connected to a partner. Okay, well, let's see what we get. You're welcome, Ariel. Okay, so how can you better prepare? Hello, Victorious Love. Welcome in. How can you better prepare for this that's coming? What's the challenge? Overall theme. That's funny. Wisdom from the ancestors. That's hilarious. And animal spirit. Let's hope that this internet decides to work. It's acting a little funky. I'm giving it a second because I noticed that the Wi-Fi is acting up, so I just want to see if I have to change something. Okay. Okay, so I should be back. So Rebecca, this is crazy that this is happening. Are you guys able to hear me and see me? I can hear my dogs whining, so I have to let them out real quick and then I'll come back. So I'll be right back and we'll see if this Wi-Fi works. All right, is this Wi-Fi any better? Sorry. Are you here, Rebecca? Yes, Rebecca's here. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to try to do this real quick before everything dies. I'm just kidding. Oh, it's like what happens when you live out in the middle of nowhere and you just have to have patience. You just have to have patience. Okay, so I'm going to use this opportunity to dive through because I just let the dogs out and it's really cold outside. So here we go. First card we get. So the question that you had was, what can you do to prepare? But then also like, what is the insight for you, during this time? And the very first card that you get is actually the Eight of Cups, which is super interesting because the way to prepare is like, there's something that you have to walk away from, right? This is Moses, and it's a Hebrew legend. The Eight of Cups represents leaving good things behind in the pursuit of higher ideals. Moses was raised as a prince of Egypt, but realized he needed to sacrifice his royal life and wealth to pursue a spiritual and aesthetic one. This is about walking away, introspection, escapism, withdrawal, seeking the truth. So part of your journey right now is about walking away from the past. That's one of the best ways that you can prepare, is to walk away from the past, whatever that means for you, whether it's a belief system or whether it's an actual relationship or an experience. It's really truly like actually walking away. What is the challenge for you? The challenge is you did get the sun card. So it's a major arcana, but it is actually reversed. The sun came out reversed. So it's kind of a cool image in this deck. This is the sun god Ra, and it's an Egyptian deity. The sun is success, birth, confidence after passing through difficult times. The Egyptian sun god Ra proves everything is illuminated with optimism and enthusiasm for the path ahead. And when this comes out reversed, though, and this is in the challenge position, it's about missed opportunities, delays, doubt, fear of missing out, and depression. So those are the things that are challenging you right now. Is that like the feeling of a missed opportunity, a delay, a doubt, fear of missing out, all those things, like not being able to shine, right? Not being able to like really truly be in your best full soul self. And that's the challenge. And it's because, right, past experiences may still be kind of on a maybe subconscious level influencing your future opportunities, right? Like something not hold you back, but it's just present. It's there. It's an energy that's there that kind of like just it hasn't really fully gone away. The card that you get for the overall theme is actually the Two of Coins, and it's actually reversed. But the Two of Coins is Pursuit from the Pacific Northwest, a Haida mythology. The Two of Coins represents the skill needed to balance opposing forces in life. For Pursuant, the bear world and the human world collide. She embodies the dualities of work and family, hobbies and careers, and wants versus needs. So we know that the Two of Coins is all about juggling and sometimes doing too much, right? When this is reversed, the overall theme is that this can be disorganization, overwhelm, overextending, or a financial mess, or just things being out of whack, like overwhelming, too many things going on at the same time. So the how to prepare, right, for these new opportunities that are coming is 1, walk away from the past, fully walk away from the past. 2, really fully allow yourself to shine. Be you, be fully 100% you. Make sure that this relationship that you're waiting for or wanting or desiring isn't something that's going to get in the way of all of the responsibilities that you already have in your life. And the wisdom from the ancestors is the King of Cups. The King of Cups. And it's actually a really cool, there's a cool image of the dragon. And it's the boy and the dragon pearl. The boy and the dragon pearl. It's a Chinese legend. The King of Cups was once a little boy, but has matured into a powerful dragon. He is kind but fiercely protective of those he loves. He is connected to the deep, dark waters of the subconscious. He possesses great patience and wisdom. So your spirit guides, angels, and teachers want you to remember the wisdom that lives within you. This is about devotion, loyalty, faithfulness, generosity, wisdom. So you being at your best, both emotionally, collected, centered, this is the best way to approach a new relationship, to devote yourself, but to do it with, from a wise place. And the animal spirit that you get is the bear, which is all about waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move towards the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. That's beautiful. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. So this is like a beautiful thing. There's a beautiful message that what is coming is actually beautiful and will be a beautiful transformation for you. It's like time to come out of the cocoon, time to come out of the cave, time to come out of the hibernation period, right? And really fully give your whole self into it, your emotions, your commitment, your devotion, and really truly walk away from any past experiences that might get in the way, past belief systems, etc., that might get in the way. But it feels like it's something. There is something what I feel is like there is something, right? There's something coming, and it will be an opportunity for you to come out of your cave and feel yourself again and love yourself and be fully yourself again and be happy. So really beautiful message. So hopefully that resonated for you. Rebecca, thank you again for getting this reading. We are done for the night, Victorious Love. Thank you for being here. I will be live again on Monday for our weekly reading. So make sure that you show up for that. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. Thank you for hanging in there with my crazy Wi-Fi. And that's why I was playing around with going live at different times, because sometimes when I go live at this time, it messes up for some reason. It's like this evening time has trouble. So I'll just keep playing with going live at different times. So make sure that you have the notification bell clicked so that you get notified of when I go live. And we will soon have our new network, our new platform, our community for everyone to join. It will be free to join. And yes, so thank you. Rebecca says that was very insightful and inspiring. I love it. Yeah, I felt really inspired by the cards, and what I was feeling was that as well. So I'm glad that resonated for you. All right. Love you guys. And I will see you this coming week. Satnam.